Man, it's just been a whirlwind really coming back from break. Obviously, when you look at the two games we played and the scores, just kind of disappointed in our game coming back with St. Thomas, and I think it was a tale of two different types of energy. The St. Thomas team played with great energy, and we didn't, coming back from break, we didn't play with that kind of energy, and I think it showed for those 40 minutes. And then you move it up, we get a short little break between with one day, and we head down to Brookings, and I thought we got off to a good start. I thought we were putting ourselves in a position. But again, a lot of the things in that game were a lot of kind of self-inflicted issues. We had some catastrophic turnovers that led to layups. I think we didn't have the patience or what we needed offensively to be more patient and really have better possessions as the game went on, and it led to us taking quicker shots, quicker threes that just weren't falling. I thought that we showed some resolve. We fought back. We got it to 7. And then we just had we had a possession on the defensive side where we gave up a dunk on our ball screen coverage. So just some frustrating things. I think that's what we're kind of grinding through right now. I think there's an opportunity when you're hitting adverse times, and I think the focus we got to keep on is us defensively, is us rebounding, is us playing with energy, is us hustle plays, winning plays. I think it's easy sometimes to get in the trap of worrying about offense, and we're just not going to do that. I think we got to correct things. I think we got to get better and clean things up. But I think we can play harder with more energy. It wasn't an issue, I don't think, before Christmas, and we're fighting that a little bit. So I think a great opportunity tonight as we play a good Northern Colorado team. The one thing I wanted to say before I took questions was that after the first semester, Dang Mayar will not be eligible for the second semester. So we won't have him as we move forward this next semester. But with that being said, I'll take questions.
So having the Big Sky Summit League Challenge opening up and just that really being set up, having this Northern Colorado team come here, what's it mean to have this sort of extra matchup with this other conference and getting these fun games in across the board?
I think it brings an interesting, different kind of mix to your conference season. You play a couple conference games, and the fact that everybody's doing it, I think adds some value to it, and it's good for our league. I think it's good for their league. And I think with all this and what our Summit League, along with the Big Sky, I think just trying to do some creative ways to schedule and get different home games, to have common opponents. I think it's a really good thing for both leagues, and we're excited about it. It's the Northern Colorado team we're playing. You really see how they're playing, and they're playing really well. They got a great win against Air Force on the road before Christmas. They came out and with some injury and some stuff. They played great at their place against Northern Arizona the other night. I think they shot almost 68% from the field, so they're playing at a high level. So we got an awesome challenge in front of us with playing a team that I think feels great about what they're doing, and we're searching, we're grinding, we're fighting. So I think it's a really good thing. I think for us it was tough coming back from Christmas and maybe just not getting the practice time that we wanted and needed. We've had some change up with our roster and different things, and not the practice time we want, but at the end of the day, we can play harder, we can play with more energy, and we can be more connected and engaged as a team. And I think these two games, without being conference games, these two games give us a chance to really, again, worry less about the Summit League and those games and conference games, and worry a little bit more about us, and lock in on us, and use these games as opportunities to go against two good teams, one on the road, and get better from this, and try to hit the ground running coming out of this when we travel down to Omaha.
So looking back to earlier in the season, to make a comparison here, looking at the Iowa game and that being this bigger blowout and then rattling off historic 6 wins right after.
Yeah.
How can you use the South Dakota State game where it wasn't nearly as, of course, on the point differential, but losing these games couple back-to-back and using that to start a win streak again? Like, how can you?
Yeah, I just think you can kind of focus on the wrong things. And I think sometimes the wins and the losses and whether you're shooting the ball great or not. There's just things you can worry about, but there's a lot of simpler things. There's a lot of things that let's worry about, how connected and how our talk is, and first to the floor defensively. Am I putting all my rebound effort in? Am I moving without the ball the way I need to? And I just think other things can really impact your attitude and your mindset. And when you're not shooting the ball well, it's amazing you don't become as good a defender sometimes. And so, I feel like that impacted us the last two games. I felt like we fought it against South Dakota State. I really were. I think we were really trying to compete and fight against that. But I think if you get caught up on just the winning part of it, I think for us it's not the right things. I think keep it smaller. Keep it. Hey, I could play harder. I could talk better. I could be more connected. I could make the right play offensively to get better shots than what I'm getting right now. And then just keep your focus there. And I think if you're doing that, eventually it kind of turns. Man, you got to work at it. You got to be willing to do the hard things and embrace it and love it and trust your teammates and show that kind of toughness and that kind of team attitude, team spirit, and that energy that goes along with it. That's what we're searching for. And you know what's going to happen, I think, when we bring that? We're going to win more. And that's what we're searching and grinding for right now.
And a last one for me, just to specifically mention with B.J. Omot and Trayson Eaglestaff, their big jumps with successful freshman campaigns, but now them as sophomores have been these huge impacts on the team. What can you say more about how their play has been, at least at the first sort of half the season?
Yeah, I think they've given us, B.J. on both ends of the floor can be a difference-making player because of who he can guard defensively, his versatility on that side of the floor. But then on offense, just his size and skill and his ability to attack the basket, but his ability to pass and get others easier shots. I think he's been shooting the ball better these last few weeks. I think his percentage has gone up from 3, and he's putting work in on that. Trayson, he's a guy that brings a lot of talent offensively as well. He's been really working on being better defensively, and I think we've had a little bit of slip there. I think he's got to lock in a little bit better and be more consistent on that side of the floor. Because at 6'6", and we play him kind of as that off guard, sometimes he gets matchups on smaller, quicker guards. So he's got to, sometimes, like against Utah Tech, he did an awesome job against their 2-guard that really scores a lot, smaller, athletic kid. But sometimes offense affects defense. But, man, both of those guys have provided a lot of offensive abilities for us. And their growth has been great. And like what we're going through right now, them as sophomores going through it in a leadership type position, this is great for them to kind of learn to, how do you keep your mind right? How do you keep trusting your teammates? How do you do all those things? And as we're grinding through this is how you come out even better than what we were. So that's what we're working towards right now.
Thank you.